Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from the host, Imperial Dane, featuring today again a match on Semois. A bit hard finding sort of interesting matches at the moment, but there you go. At least I figured this one on Semois would do alright. We're going to be watching not quite too high level pros yet, not too novices either. We shall be watching Stein87 fighting for the Americans, fighting for the 2nd Armored Division, going up against Passforme7 of the 2nd SS Panzer Division. Both of them are, well, viewers of the Propagandacast, have sent in particular Stein, and, well, thought this one was pretty interesting. Passforme apparently is currently level 15. And he seems to think that is largely because of watching my cast. So of course, there might be some reason for people to, who might not be thinking, well, this isn't important, check it out. But nonetheless, we are seeing two pioneers that are out here for Stein87. I mean, Passforme, not Stein. But Stein, on the other hand, of course, also going for engineers. We're seeing a rifleman squad out there, starting out with that. So, Fultz Grenadiers out. So far, so quiet. Not an awful lot going on. Wiring off there again, sort of on your own personal prerogative. If you want to do it either. Can work, can't. It depends a bit. Not sure why this is weird, but Stein actually never explains why it is weird. And we're seeing a Jeep out second for Stein. What shall be out second for Passforme? It's actually a bike. That could certainly be something that looks more like the strategy I use, except I use a shrimp mag, but apparently Passforme wants something out a bit faster, in which case he goes for the bike. Wiring off there, also to ensure to get it at that angle so it can't be moved in from there. Sometimes when you do place it at certain edges, I mean, there's usually a gap, so you sort of have to lay an extra bit of barbed wire to fully close it off. The bike's sort of patrolling forwards. And looks like Passforme's heading into the town. He might even go for the cutoff point. A bit more bold, a bit more aggressive. At the same time, we are seeing Stein heading up with a Jeep, hoping to harass and cause some problems for the Wehrmacht. Nice move, and there we go. The Jeep opening up 30 caliber rounds, raking down the pioneers, doing a bit of damage, probably going to force, and he's actually going for the victory point. What about the response? There we go. Jeep moving in, rushing through the countryside. And there we go, ambushing the Jeep, opening up with this machine gun, doing a bit of damage, but so does the Jeep. Second squad of Fultz Grenadiers out. Riflemen more on the way for Stein. We're seeing some riflemen moving down there. Could be used to harass here. Of course, the barbed wire here will protect. Oh, there's a gap there, and it could actually be a bit close enough to capture through the wire. But Jeep versus bike. Jeep has to actually be careful. The bike does have the better machine gun, which can actually do more damage in the long run. Of course, there we go. Right, no, that's actually Fultz Grenadiers. Never mind. Although I think the Jeep should have been actually retreated. And there we go. The engine is on fire, and Inferno has engulfed the front chassis, and the driver's wondering if it's time to bail out. Engineers all of a sudden taking up position in the house. Riflemen down in the middle of the road. There's of course still the bike as well, which could provide additional firepower. Riflemen are not doing anything. Seems to have been forgotten by Stein. More Fultz Grenadiers rushing in. Engineers trying to get flamethrowers, but their game simply going to get targeted down by Passforme quite excellently. We are seeing the bike actually trying to hit the Jeep, and the Jeep just needs to get out of there. Otherwise, it's just going to blow up and won't be able to do anything. More riflemen on the way for Stein. His riflemen heroically sacrificing themselves. Come on, back up the Jeep further, Stein. Oh no, there we go. Bike gets the Jeep, leaving behind a nice bonfire, a barbecue. But that is it. Robin up here putting away, having realised there's wire. Bit of engineering in the centre, bit of taking back that victory point. Robin men here not doing too well. In particular now with the bike adding into machine gun fire, although the bike itself, of course, is also going to need some repairs. Trias-Ender quickly up for Stein. He's suffered already a bit. His men have bled quite a bit, so he's going to try and minimize that damage. And is now instead switching towards the center with mines up, but MG42 covering the town square and quickly suppressing, getting their heads into the dirt, tasting the asphalt or gravel or whatever they're using to make roads here in France. The engineers though need to retreat. And taking up position in the church, not necessarily always the best, in particular with infantry. Again, remember windows, which actually means they could actually end up being easier target inside the building, because again they can only, for example, fire up one at a time from this window, and that's pretty much only to the advantage of Passforme. Already 2 men lost and barely any damage done. So I mean, this was a not at all good engagement for Stein. Now seeing grenades up. He's hoping to equalize things there with some pineapple grenades down the throats of the Germans. We're now moving in and they're going to make short work of the riflemen, simply larger numbers and better condition of the men. Also pushing in from the north, although has to be careful, the MG could shift about. Rather than pushed away there. Mine down the road, though, nice by Passforme. Grenades have arrived. Volkswagen is getting scorched a bit. MG42 needs to relocate.
The enemy is after our victory point.
Supply out going up for Stein. No, and there goes small engagement up here in the center. Volkswagen is lining up by the old house. Rifleman could try and get off a grenade, which could do a bit of damage, although they have to be careful. They do not get gunned down, but the Volkswagen is out in the open. And there we go, grenade. Will. No, Passforme's not paying attention. And oh, 4 Volkswagen is down. 1 man makes it out of there, but that ditch became a grave. Now there's only the rifleman right there. Volkswagen, I mean, we're quickly getting out of there as well. And the bike actually went down as well. MG caught up in the open. And another grenade against the Volkswagen. Will Passforme. This time he does pay attention. And the grenade explodes technically harmlessly behind them. Although, of course, not really harmless if they're caught in it. And MG42, but now it is simply outmaneuvered. We're seeing another grenade attempt. Manages to get out of there, but Stein87 has pushed off. Passforme. Now would be a good time for Stein to mine the area, so Passforme can't get back quite as easily. I mean, this would be a good spot to mine. This would be a good spot to mine. This would be a good spot to mine. He's got munitions to mine them all. So I again would suggest Stein gets on it quickly as possible. Mine, mine, mine. Well, again, this would also be a really good spot. Volkswagen is now some equipped with the MP40s, the machine pistol 40. So Volkswagen is marching out. Rifleman about there, and mines down. Might want to move the engineers who do not tip off him to the fact there's mines. Stein. Another engineer squad on the way. No doctrinal choice as of yet from Stein. Mine spotted there, going to be swept and cleared. Mines in front of the church. And of course it is now December, the month of Christmas, and Stalingrad, and the Ardennes. Well, not Stalingrad, but you know, lots of nasty cold fights. Also the Reserve meat grinder. Basically there where you're really well likely to freeze off something. MG42 meant to deal with this, a bit dangerous, particularly low health, and grenade goes off. Ooh, veterans he won, and an MG42 cleared out. I mean, this would be an excellent maneuver if for some reason Stein could sneak up here and get the MG42. That could be very, very nasty. Mine down there as well by Stein. Rather than taking up position in the house, you could also try dropping a grenade in the path where predicted the MP40 squad would move in. Flamethrowers in the church, releasing the Lord's holy fire upon the crowds. Minesweeper engineers hiding in the house, convinced there are mines down there somewhere in the wine cellar. With all the good vintage wines, yes, we have to check them all. They could be mined. We take one for the team, then. Pioneers down here getting spotted by some rather more depleted riflemen. Still 3 squads for Stein, although we do see a motor pull up and an armored car on the way. At the same time, Sturm army up. Passforme has rushed straight for it. And that's actually a bit more dangerous, considering he's not quite, of course, fully aware that what Mr. Stein has gone for, but apparently he decides for it anyways. Minesweeper spotting the mine. Though the pioneers quickly catch her on fire, they realise they're a bit too combustible and retreat while the engineers themselves escape. Rather than here not having quite as much luck, but there we go, the Volkswagens are taking heavy losses and they do retreat. And of course there's still a mine there, basically. Actually, quite not as good. And armored skirts up. Let's go look at Passforme, who's gone blitzkrieg as well to support his advance, with some stormtroopers getting prepared. An armored car on the way. Pretty ballsy stuff. Pretty ballsy stuff. But he must be feeling pretty confident to do so. Otherwise, I mean, of course, he could run straight into something nasty. And of course, that armored car could prove to be an initial, rather comprehensive barrier. But let us see how it actually works out for Passforme and the 2nd SS Panzer Division. He does recruit the MG42. That was actually about time. It's actually been standing about a bit too long on its own, which could have been secured by Stein if he'd been really intrigued with it and done some, well, nothing good. Just Passforme, but there we go. Stormtroopers arriving, going to provide the anti-tank assets, the slightly more risky business. It's also a bit of an older strategy. I mean, you don't see it so much here, but I mean, there used to be a time where you much more often saw, you know, skip tier 2, go for tier 3, get the armored cars out, and get some stormtroopers with Panzerjets out. But not so much anymore. It's interesting to see Passforme passing on the torch, well, grabbing the torch from someone, passing it on, and deciding to run for himself. Of course, the Greyhound is still definitely going to be a problem. Engineers a bit hold up. He could do with more mines. That's Stein. MG42 there. Stormtrooper sneaking up. Armor car taking light damage. Bit of harassment going up here. The engineers need to be careful. Stein. Careful, Stein. Stormtroopers really getting up close. They don't want any chance to miss. But they do reveal themselves still nonetheless. Shot hits. Does a nice bit of damage. Armor car half health. Looks like Stein will be forced away from the town centre. Was he going to try and do a bit more damage? No. Steadily does pull back, having been bloody. Stein, though, does hold most of the map. And again, you know, a bit of barbed wire mines. Tank traps could prove to his advantage. Of course, also with the armor cars limiting their movement would definitely hurt them the most. Because, again, armor cars do rely a lot more on movement than on, you know, direct toughness or firepower as such. And the minesweepers again, Passforme doing nicely with that, taking no chances. And Stein's, no, Passforme's troops are advancing into the town centre. More riflemen moving in. Bundle grenade. Oh, right into the ditch! Oh, Stein lost an entire squad of riflemen. Very, very nastily done right there by Passforme and his stormtroopers. All the flamethrowers are now doing their best to turn the stormtroopers into scorched troopers. Armor car also quickly moves in. Anti-tank gun up for Stein as well, but he's going to need some replacement infantry. And a medic station never would have helped. Oh, he's gone for a weapon support sensor as well. Yet he's not really going to need it, I think. I mean, believe, you know, perhaps more riflemen, so could get up to 4. Perhaps some BRs would have made that choice than that weapon support center at the moment. Engineers in the church once more. Greyhound moving in. Anti-tank gun inching up. Second armor cut out for Passforme and the 2nd SS. Not much. Stein, though, and the 2nd armor looks to be stalling. Right in front of us, the 2nd armor car moving in. Has to be careful, though. Right in front of the anti-tank gun. And, oh, Stein decides to move the anti-tank gun just as that, missing an excellent opportunity to get off a nice hit on the armored cars. And now he's actually moving again, right moving up here. Getting blasted, the armored car, though, hoping to dig out. And there we go, anti-tank gun reveals itself. Doesn't do much. Looks like a unit actually lost its life. Not sure what. Could be some pioneers who got gunned down. The MG, though, finally is pushed back. Fulton's taking some mine losses as well. And these riflemen. Stein needs to retreat them. Stein! Oh dear, that was just not good. Going to go for the fuel point down there, I can see. Greyhound rolling in, hoping to take the chance against the armored cars. Oh, damaged engine. Come on, Stein, focus it down. Grenades going off here. Fulton's taking heavy losses. Stormtroopers doing their best to hold off. And of course equipped with only one Panzer. They are decently... Oh, we're seeing a blitzkrieg assault going out. A desperate counter-attack with lots of grenades. There we go. Armor card of controlled veterans. You won for the other one, giving in a speed increase, allowing this Greyhound to much quicker react. And oh yes, pass for me. Careful, careful. Of course, it's a bit harder to maneuver about inside the town. Sadly, there's no mine there. Otherwise, I mean, that could have been good night to the armor car right there. Still, the Greyhound manages a hit. MG42 full scanners and pioneers, and looks like a need for now to follow up. Going for the fuel point down there quite nicely. Engineers might want to consider evacuating the premises. Rockets landing all over the village, not quite doing anything. Gunner killed. Still, the great armor car could go down to the Greyhound, which is on its prey. Main gun destroyed. Sturmgeschütz coming. But how long? And Veteran 2 for the Greyhound, giving an increased penetration. Now it just needs to get back. And Stein is in dire need of more infantry. Preferably with some BARs. No, don't lay down a Greyhound mine right there. Here's the thing though. Panzerfaust, if the Greyhound are on the mine, can actually set it off. Which can be used to, of course, knock it out. I mean, there's a time for everything, I think. And that was not the time for a Greyhound mine. I think that was a bit of a shame right there by Stein. I mean, I understand why, but I don't think the time was right for it. In particular, not because there was no way in hell Passforme7 would not have seen that. The best mines are the one your opponent aren't aware of. I mean, here would have been a better spot to mine, or here, you know, somewhere in this general vicinity. Not in the middle of the bridge while there's infantry here, and he's pretty much intent on watching that armor car. I mean, that's just... Well, also knowing, of course, your opponent has mines, which again, that's just a whip. No, that actually got killed, no man, but still, think a bit of a waste. Stein taking some considerable losses in the process. Weapon supports and are still not being used again, raising the question of why Stein then bother with. Of course, he might have had some plans, but then he should actually try and stick with them instead of having that building sent about and achieving absolutely nothing. Bupkis. Full screen is moving in behind enemy lines. Have to be a bit careful now. We are seeing Browning automatics on the move, and they are half health with no veterans at all. They do manage to secure the victory point. Oh, mine, Minen! No. And they're taking heavy loss already due to the depleted life. One catches on fire. Oh, the mine didn't go off, but nonetheless. Full screen squad gone. MP40s lost. A tragedy for everybody. We do see the Sturmgeschütz out. Anti-tank and getting all fixed up. Mines down there. Lovely, Stein. Lovely. And mine there. Good. Although you could also do with a mine there and a mine there. Generally, again, mine that center more heavily. And the Sturmhaubitze following up the Sturmgeschütz. Fulton is caught right there in the town center. Mining down there. Again, right in front of the enemy, in which case you might as well not bother. There we go. Stug, MG42 and the Storms, of course, ready to drop in a grenade if necessary. Moving in from several sides. Nicely. Could ambush some German infantry. MG42, though, stopping one part of the assault by Stein. Grenades going off on the Storms and Fulton is getting quite a few. You could see another squad go down. No. MG42 forced away. Oh, Stu gets off an excellent hit, killing 3 riflemen outright in a blast, shattering their bones and bodies. And the assault guns just continue in, blowing up the cemetery walls while someone's hiding up here. Might want to consider moving, doing a bit of harassment here, trying to deny Passforme7 munitions. The Nebelwerfer fires again. Hasn't actually killed anything as of yet. It's getting a bit hit there. Most of the rockets seem to hit the cemetery and the nearby cafe, not really killing anything. Again, remember, you are a lot less accurate if you can't actually see the target. You know, you don't have line of sight to it. And of course, again, distance also plays a sort of thing into sort of the scattering of artillery.
We are prepared to do precisely as ordered.
Kampfkraft center going out, about time. Going there for the cutoff point, nicely done by Stein. And let's return, in fact, to Stein, and let's see what doctrine he has chosen. He's gone for armor. Going for the left-hand side, he might go for a Pershing. At the same time, he's also building a tank depot. In fact, he's got every single building now within 20 minutes. But even some of them are not being used. So, of course, the question becomes, is this actually a good move? No, I don't think so.
Krauts are grabbing our territory.
He could at least have done without the weapon support center at the very least. And I also think he might have benefited from a medic station a bit earlier. MG holding up an advance right there. Assault guns proving a nuisance, blasting away riflemen. And the Nebula joining in the fun, going to hit those suppressed targets. Sticky bomb on the Stu 42 rifleman, still taking considerable losses. In the town centre of Semois, he is pretty much getting blasted into oblivion or scorched away. These riflemen need to retreat. No idea why Stein is insisting on not pulling back. Not sure why he pulled up the anti-tank gun there. Seems a bit of a curious movement. Going for the cutoff right there again. Keeping up the pressure on Passforme7. Anti-tank gun connecting with the chassis of the Stug, and Hellcan out. He's also got Pershing, so of course the question becomes, shouldn't he just wait for the Pershing and then just try to do something with it? I mean, the Stugs are going to have some considerable trouble dealing with it. We're seeing another Stormtrooper squad marching in.
Our front lines are collapsing.
And a bit of harassment down south, more minesweeper pioneers. The pressure on Stein increases as well as he tries to increase his on Passforme7 and the 2nd SS Panzer Division.
Front shifting.
Anti-tank gun run off again as well. He's got tons of munitions.
Supply lines are broken. We have territory out of supply.
Looks like from here could be running into a bit of trouble. Stormtroopers moving in. Opening up on the riflemen who are already down to half health. Basically taking a point. Riflemen down. In fact, 2 are down to the Stormtroopers rather quickly. 4-man down. Stein should either stop taking the point or he should have retreated. Instead, he ended up losing 5 riflemen to the Stormtroopers. That's a lot of manpower just out the window right there.
Victory point under siege. The Germans are moving in.
Let's just beat this up. Stein will probably be gathering up forces. No, never mind. Moving in the Hellcat first. It is not a tank. And thus will be a lot more vulnerable, in particular when he ought to wear where there are Stormtroopers with the Panther tricks hiding throughout. Nebelwerfer fires away. Quickly going to force Stein out of his push into town. Rifleman getting absolutely blasted. Also, fun thing to note in Commanders 2, stuff like the IS-2 will actually have heavy machine guns mounted on them as AA machine guns, the sort of pencil-mounted gun like you'll see on the Stug if you get Veterans 2. Folks, got Stormtroopers pushing in. Only some riflemen and flamethrower engineers holding the line. Clearly saving up for the Pershing, and just lots of grenades charging in. Other assault gun moving in. MD opening up as well, suppressing the riflemen. This is not doing too well for Stein. And assault rifle Stormtroopers now. Goodness gracious. They do catch a bit on fire. Grenades getting locked. Heavy losses. But so is for the rifleman, and an engineer squad is gone again. Just retreat, Stein, just retreat. Whoa, that was quick. Stein definitely, though, should have retreated in this case, not even sent them into the cafe. And there we go, Pershing arrives, but I mean, Stein is bleeding badly, profusely. He's taking a lot of casualties, in some cases rather needlessly, to be honest. And again, a medic station I think would have benefited him greatly. Right here would have been a nice position close to the front line, but at the same time not quite easily accessible for the opponent to hit. Another armored car rolling in, still a bit of attempted harassment there, but this time locked down by Volksgunners, followed up by an MG42. Pershing rolls in. Now, of course, this is the question for Stein. Can he actually take full advantage of this? And he needs to be fast about it. Come on, focus down the Stug. The Stug! The actual armored threat. Oh well. And looks like some pioneers are going down up north. Small victory right there for Stein. Damaged engine on the armored car. That's going to be an easy attack. And he actually sticky bombs it. I think that is overkill. In fact, because another shot from Pershing knocks it out of control. So that actually wasted munitions. And a wasted cooldown, of course, because, I mean, they won't be able to throw anything for quite a while. So in that sense, a bit of a double waste. Turn the Pershing, Stein. Turn it so the front faces away to the front. Enemy stormtroopers now moving in. 2 stormtrooper squads with 1 Panzer each. Rather getting stopped here by Volksgunners MGs. Nice assault down there. And of course pushing out a main assault. A rather infiltration-like heavy stormtrooper assault. The best of the 2nd SS moving in. And their name is des Vaterlandes. The church has definitely seen better days. Since you can see right through it. Pretty sure it's not part of a new ventilation scheme. Mine there, although not quite close to going off. Pershing. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Supply lines are broken.
And these Volksgunners might actually regret moving in for that victory point. Although, I mean, Passforme is actually losing quite a few victory points. And some mines right here would have benefited. No, don't send the Hellcat in on its own. There we go. He again should be aware there are stormtroopers moving about. Infantry should be at the front line of things. Engineers should retreat, but they don't. Instead, they get killed.
Front lines are collapsing.
And another Hellcat again with all the infantry. I think a Sherman would be another good assistant. Sort of add some more high explosive rounds. Again, do not send the more squishy target in first. Send in the more heavily thing in first. That's rather a point to absorb more of the fire. Instead, that Hellcat is going to go out in a few seconds. Like a Christmas light short-circuiting. We are seeing Allied field repairs up, but will we be able to do enough? Just focus it down. There we go, destroyed engine. Oh, the stormtroopers blow it up, denying veterancy, but still a bit of an embarrassment. Look at what you did, Fritz. You blew up our Sturmgeschütz. Entschuldigung. The stormtroopers, though, still roaming the town.
Observation posts report we are losing.
Doing most of the infantry work now. Getting a 30 caliber machine gun. Actually, he's very low on everything. Again, Stein has been suffering too heavily. Showing a lot of mixed responses again. Considering all the munitions he has, he's definitely not been laying down enough mines at all. Definitely think he would have benefited from that. Oh.
Taking casualties.
Well, that's a 1 in 100 shot right there. Normally, you do not see a Stu-42 just blast away an entire squad like that. That is... Well, I think that's actually the first time I've ever seen that happen in all my years of playing Company of Heroes. And I've been playing it for many years. Many years. Pershing rolling out, quickly targeting down the Hellcat. Main gun destroying the Stu-42. Stormtroopers getting crushed beneath the treads. Veterans, you free up for the infantry. 30 caliber ready. At least he should have considered earlier, but I think a sniper or a mortar would have done him better, or again more infantry. Field repairs up to try and get that Pershing rolling again. And there we go. Panzerschreck misses. Looks like he's trying to knock out the Nebelwerfer, deny artillery to pass for me in the 2nd SS. Another nice hit right there. There's a return to pass for me. He's actually got quite a bit of manpower. He's obviously waiting for the Tiger. Hellcat engineers and the 30 caliber moving up there. And the MG, oh, just taking all the hits. But again, I don't think it was a great choice anyways. It's not that it matters an awful lot. Pass for me, certainly enjoying the overall advantage now. I mean, Stein's been able to do some damage, but ultimately, Stein usually suffered a lot more in the process. 30 caliber, ooh, misclick, I wager. And there's actually not enough to stop. Oh, we're seeing a kickbacks going up, probably going to be packs. But again, I mean, if used properly, now this Pershing could actually turn the tide. I mean, there's absolutely nothing there except the Stormtroopers, and of course you can spot them and get them. And Veterans E2 for the Pershing, increasing penetration against any further armor. Tiger soon ready. Stormtroopers obliterated. That's the sort of thing Stein87 wants. MD almost gone as well. Excellent. That's the sort of usage we want. Storm Volkswagen's moving. Oh, the MG got cleared out. Grenade on the Stormtroopers. 30 caliber acting about when it shouldn't be. Volkswagen is almost gone, but they do manage to make it away with the Panzerschreck.
Americans are seizing territory from us.
Riflemen need to retreat before the Nebelwerfer hits, because that's pretty much going to be there. It hits. Retreat. Come on, Stein. No, I was wrong. Would have figured that. And we also note here we're seeing a banker up for pass for me to ensure that he doesn't have to divert a lot of resources up here. On the other hand, if Stein wants this northern victory point, he will have to divert quite a few resources.
Here.
Tiger now on the move. Deployed from some SS Schwerer Panzerabteilung, heavy SS Panzer unit. They did have a few originally, though. The first 3 SS Panzer Division actually had their own Tiger companies. That changed, though, and they were instead removed to form the SS Heavy Panzer Battalions with Tigers and later King Tigers. Tiger, though, heavily damaged. I mean, right now, it would actually be a pretty good time for Stein to actually charge in and finish it off. He would actually be able to get enough firepower against it, and there wouldn't be enough from pass for me to actually defend it. In particular now with the Sherman. Move, Stein, move! You know the Tiger's got a damaged engine, you know it's not got a lot of health, and you know you got a Pershing with a good chance, and of course the Hellcat as well. Instead, right now, he's giving pass for me time to actually recuperate, reorganize, and cause a real headache. In particular, there's a Pack 38 on the way, in which case the window of opportunity will have been lost. Sherman, though, moving in, getting a bit blasted. Tiger's also getting repaired, of course. MG cleared out, I think, but still, move it, man. And of course, recruit that anti-tank and take it with you. Just do something before it's too late. Again, it's a short window of opportunity to get that Tiger again. If you get it, it's pretty much game over for pass for me, I think. On the other hand, if you do not, yeah, then it could be game over for Stein. I mean, this is a defining moment. Will Stein push in, or will pass for me be able to recuperate, recover get the Tiger operational again, get some Stormtroopers out, get a pack out, and pretty much stop anything from Stein head on. which it's rather trendy looking on. Perhaps he could pull in the anti-tank, and that might give him the chance, but again, he's not. He's just sitting about doing nothing, and again, giving time for Passforme to get ready again. Stormtrooper spotted, 30 caliber grenade! Passforme not fast enough to grenade, Pershing moving in. Where's this Sherman? Get the Sherman moving. Allied war machine up, but he's, you know, taking a lot of shots from the Panzer. And again, if only he had this Sherman with him to clear out the infantry, because he's not that. He's actually allowing Passforme to get off a lot of Panzer Shreks. Again, that's also pretty bad. And he also exposed the rear. Absolutely horrid armored assault right there by Stein. Lost a Pershing. Of course, he had Allied war machine up, but nonetheless, he lost a veterancy to Pershing. I mean, this is an armored assault that pretty much went as wrong as it could have. He did not get all the armor in, for starters. And there were certainly some things which could have been knocked out quickly, and then, of course, he would have focused down the Tiger, but ultimately, he should have engaged earlier. He should have engaged earlier before Passforme was able to actually quickly get something up to defend the Tiger. And of course, Passforme himself should have pulled back the Tiger to a more defensible position, because a much more aggressive American player would have destroyed that Tiger. And then, of course, that would have been game over for Passforme. So again, you know, have to be careful. But I would also like, you know, to see perhaps a repair bunker up to help with the Tiger and any other vehicle repairs. Salvaging the munitions would also be good for Passforme. And of course, a medic station, medic bunker, repair bunker, all that stuff for either player would be good. Pershing moves out, but without support, which is again not good.
We have only 50 points in reserve.
Of course, the Pershing did not fight in Normandy. Just pointing that out. Generally, not a lot actually did fight in at all in World War II. Also, slightly more silly fact, but they were actually used in World War II movie called the Battle of the Bulls, where they were used as King Tigers. Sort of silly, and to represent the American Sherman tanks, they actually used Chaffies. I always thought that was a bit fun. And of course, there we go, the empty bunker up north, halting down Stein's advance, just like it should. And of course, would mean that for Stein to actually have any chance up here, he's going to have to divert a lot more resources to get this out, which again would give Passforme more time to respond. Tiger though rolls in. Hellcat rolls in as well. And of course, fun fact, also notice this in the trailer, or someone else did, I can't remember his name, but the Tiger tank actually has an MG up here, which of course means that the Tiger will also get an aircraft mounted MG somehow, which of course means it will have a lot more MGs. So in that sense, tanks will be a bit more fleshed out. Hopefully also armor model wise, so side armor will be a lot more vulnerable. I'm still curious about that one actually. Would love to ask Dovey about that. I should try and form. But there we go, pushing in the assault. The Volkskraniers doing what they can, but they are taking quite a bit of damage. Also fun fact, Volkskraniers did not fight in Normandy either. Ironically, what did fight were the Osttruppen, which you'll see in Kevin too. And again, I suppose we could always consider Volkskraniers ersatz Osttruppen, you know, just there to represent any sort of low-quality infantry, be they static infantry division troops or Osttruppen. Tiger, though, does quite nicely. Down to half health, though. More storms called in. Bunker going up there. Hellcat. I mean, oh! Blimey, that did not go well. Sherman getting repaired. Stein again is in a lot of trouble. Let's return to him. Another Pershing called in. Sherman versus Tiger, that is pretty much a dead given. And Blitzkrieg goes up. Blitzkrieg goes up. Rather than just getting absolutely slaughtered. Stormtroopers getting hit a bit. Main gun knocked out. Again, the Hellcat in the front line. And actually, Stein never bothered recruiting that anti-tank gun. Stormtroopers moving in. Tiger. Oh, Hellcat went down. Again, Stein needs to work on his armor tactics, armor engagements. And a bit on his aggression. Overall, I mean, he did well with the infantry, but again, he took too many losses. And again, the armor not quite as well either. That's not to say it's completely, you know, a mess, but again, there were some times where he could have won this, where he sadly did not quite get around to it. But certainly also a bit ballsy play by Passforme, which certainly could have caught him a bit off foot. Storms was now just equipped with a BAR, and otherwise the Kar-98Ks in that single-shot Sturm Gewehr. Could ambush the engineers, clear them out, and of course right line of sight. There we go. Spotted right in front of the Sherman. The Pershing perhaps not the best. Stormtroopers moving out, caught out in the open. Anti-tank gun getting assaulted. Pershing down.
Pershing enemy unit.
Oh no. And Allied war field repairs. Actually, I would have thought he'd gone Allied war machine, but no, he didn't have the resources for that. So another disaster for Stein. And the second armored. Tiger advances, finally recruiting that anti-tank gun, which again could also perhaps have been a benefit from him. He couldn't even result in that Tiger getting knocked out earlier, but again it's simply too late now. Tiger now veterans free as well. Sherman just getting plastered with Panzer attacks from the Stormtroopers from the Volksgrenadiers. Tiger those pushed away, damaged engine. Close but no cigar as the Stormtroopers overrun it. Blasting it, Sherman desperately breaks through, escapes, but of course will result in it being isolated from the rest of its friends. And the anti-tank gun is blown to smithereens. And the lonely little Sherman drives off, a bit unsure where to go.
The Germans are moving in.
Let's speed this up as Passforme secures the map. Volksgren's a bit caught there. And retreated. 3 squads of riflemen. The Sherman hiding in a corner, but then actually pulling back.
Krauts are grabbing our territory.
Tiger awfully damaged. Passforme should be careful. Anti-tank gun up. Gets off a nice hit, but not quite able to penetrate. As veterans free, the Tiger actually gets tougher armor, which means it's harder to penetrate. Rifleman getting blasted by Stuke. Which is out for Passforme as well. Damaged engine on the Tiger. And the Stormtroopers rushing in, hoping to clear out that anti-tank gun once and for all. There we go, gone. Successfully sorted out by the Stormtroopers of the 2nd SS Panzer Division. Das Reich. Bit of a desperate stand right there by Stein amongst the wreckage. Not sure what that Stuke is doing down there. Weird. And assault going against Stein. And grenades. Tiger getting repaired, pushing in. Ooh, do have a repair bunker up there, but that's simply too far away to actually help with anything unless Stein pushes back past me quite grievously. Stug moves in from the rear and main gun destroyed. Grenade against the stormtroopers and forced away. There you go, the Sherman is gone. Stug moves up. Tiger half elf. Another anti-tank gun. More dead attached to that anti-tank gun. Assault from the Fultz Grenadiers. Stug getting hit a bit by anti-tank guns. Actually taking quite a bit of damage. The second Stug moves up for pass from me. And a Stug actually goes down. Fultz gun is almost done as well. Oh dear, what a cough. Second Stug also taking quite a bit of damage. They are not very tough against anti-tank guns. They have about as much health as an Ostwind. They do have tougher armor, but nonetheless, you know, be careful. Almost down. The riflemen holding up here, but they are quite pinned down. Victory points are ticking down. Oh, goodness, actually. Pass for me is very close. But sadly, Stein could not hold for long enough. Oh dear, that's just going to be tragic. And perhaps some of his actions could have been actually forced away by desperation. When you see your opponent that close to loss. Not much going on though.
The enemy is after our victory.
A Calliope now arrives.
Enemy units down.
50 minutes. Back to pass for me, but again, not a lot happening. This stage is pretty much GG for Stein. It's game over. Whatever chances he had are gone. Wasted. Lost. No more. What a dream. And of course he could perhaps have just tried sending up a Sherman down there. Again, I lose to Shrek Spam. No, not quite, not quite, not quite. You lost a bit to your own passiveness at some rather crucial times, I fear. And the weapon supports in our 30 caliber really didn't do much. I mean, the main problem here was, again, I think from Stein sometimes, he just didn't do anything when he probably should have been attacking. He could have done with more mines, I think. Again, particularly this area was curiously unmined. Just sort of stuck to the more popular spots instead of also perhaps trying the less obvious ones. Could have done with a bit more wire, perhaps some tank traps. Medic station would have benefited from him, and he also needs to be a bit more careful. There were a lot of times, sometimes there could have been misclicks, but there were definitely times when he should have been preserving his units much better, which resulted in manpower needlessly wasted. Very tragically, of course. Both supply upgrades, that's good. He could have done with the medic station. And overall, his armor tactics need a bit improvement. He was too happy to send in the Hellcat first rather than following up on something like, say, a Sherman or a Pershing. You could also, perhaps, send in the Sherman up here north to clear that bunker up, and then, of course, force pass for me to spread out further, perhaps even get the point for just long enough. Pass for me, on the other hand, needs to be a bit more careful with this Tiger. There were too many times where he just had it lounging about, which could have been knocked out by a more aggressive player. Nice with the bunkers. He could have done with a medic bunker, I think. Bit ballsy this, but certainly worked off for him. But overall, hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.